Sarah Emma Edmondson was born in New Brunswick, Canada, around the holidays in December 1841. Her parents were Isaac and Betsy Edmondson, who were originally from Scotland. Emma's father was filled with some pretty cold emotions towards Emma and her 4 older siblings. The reason why he had so many children was because a farmer's life at the time was quite rough, with all of the cold and foggy weather. And so, he wanted a few boys that could lend him a hand. Unfortunately for him, his wife had 3 daughters, Frances, Eliza, and Jane. After his long-lost hope, a boy finally came around, which was Thomas. But, well, since Isaac was so unlucky with blessings, Thomas had epilepsy. In his eyes, all these children were a waste of time. After a long while, Betsy had Emma Edmondson. At this point, Isaac was pretty much done with all of the failed attempts, and all he had left was all the coldness that remained inside of him, which Emma felt throughout her entire infancy. After reading a book given to her by a peddler when she was 13, called The Female Pirate Captain, Emma finally found the courage and bravery to flee from home with her mother, since her siblings had all been sold and married off. Though, at the time, women needed a male chaperone to travel. And here is where the idea of being disguised as a man had come to her mind. Emma cut her hair, put on some pants, and made herself a new identity, which was called Franklin Thompson. Sadly enough, Emma wasn't on the rich side of the community. No, not at all. She was poor, really poor. So, the brand new Franklin applied for a job that fit her love for God perfectly, a Bible salesman. With this job, she got to spread some of the gospel, something she enjoyed greatly. After doing this for a while, she actually got paid a fair amount of money, and herself a lot more money than she was planning on making, plus a bunch of admirers. Emma started buying nice clothes, a horse, and went further into buying a carriage. In 1860, when she was 19, President Abraham Lincoln called out to all people to attend the Union Army. Since she was Canadian and a woman, she didn't have to sign up, but she kind of had some feeling that was tugging at her mind, and she didn't know whether to join or not. She had been frank for so long that she simply felt the need to join. Emma left her current life and took a dive into a completely different and new life. After tons of difficult training and tough labor, in July 1861, they finally set off to battle. Although they first had to march for 33 miles, fanfare along them, they made it to the battlefield. When they arrived, Emma was initially working as a male nurse. The violence of battle was starting to stir up around her and her comrades, and they quickly had to help out patients with all kinds of disturbing injuries. In the midst of whizzing bullets, she found a few disguised women. It's surprising, since they were all thought to be caught when examined before entering. One of them, particularly, confessed her real gender before getting examined, told Edmund her own story, and her last words were used to tell Emma to bury her corpse at a stone church nearby. Later on, Emma found out the disguised woman was an old friend of hers back in New Brunswick. Traumatized, she knew she had to step it up and learn to become stoic towards the chaotic imagery of the event. After some time, she changed ranks in succession: mailman, soldier, and spy. Dressed as a black man, she successfully took valuable notes from a Confederate officer's jacket, including information about their forces, which included the size of the army and the kinds of weapons they had at hand. Because of this, Emma's name earned fame among the Union Army. During 1865, Sarah Edmondson published the best-selling book of memoirs, Nurse and Spy in the Union Army. Since she caught malaria during the war, she was forced to retire and move to Texas. She planned to return, but she was declared a deserter. In the fall of 1897, she was recovering from another series of malaria, but ended up passing away due to a stroke. Emma was buried in Houston, Texas.